How knowledgeable are you on gun safety? Do you know how to safely use and clean a firearm? And where do you sit with your Second Amendments? My experience with firearms is I was in Department of Correction for 3 years for law enforcement. So we had training and recertifications every 6 months to a year. I have also hunted recreationally for the past 14 years, and I actively shoot and carry for the job I have now for certifications. Today I want to demonstrate how to safely clean a firearm. Briefly, won't do a thorough job, but I will walk you through it and give you some safety tips along the way. Because I believe that under everybody's Second Amendment, they should exercise their right to carry and bear arms. The first thing you want to do is a quick safety check. Make sure everything's unloaded so that you can mess with the gun and not shoot yourself in the process. So by dropping the magazine, which I've done, then you check the slide. It's empty, as you can see. So now you know that it's safe to work on. The second thing would be to disassemble it. So we've already taken the magazine out. You're going to have to lock your slide back. This particular model has a release lever down inside. You'll flip the release latch so you can take your slide off and set the frame down. You'll remove the recoil spring and then your barrel. After you do this, once you're shooting, you get a lot of debris particles and dirt in it, so you'll want a heavy metal solvent that'll take all that dirt and debris off. So I got the spray one. It's a lot easier. It'll come in a couple different forms, but the spray is really good for a quick job. So what I'm doing is I'm spraying everything down and kind of let that solvent soak in for a few seconds, and then you want to wipe the big pieces of debris. You'll see the black lead streaks and all come off, and I'll just start wiping that clean. Some things to keep in mind is, depending on where you're going to do this at, most people are probably going to do it in their home or their garage. Always keep it pointed in a safe direction, the muzzle, which is the end of the barrel. Always treat it as if it's loaded. Even though you may not know it, somebody else nearby or in a room or on the range, they don't know what's in your gun. So that'll keep a lot of accidents from happening if you treat it like it's always loaded. And before that, always keep it pointed in a safe direction. You know, even if something bad does happen and it's pointed in a safe direction, then best case scenario is nobody gets hurt. And that's a good way to help that from preventing it. Once you get everything wiped out here, you're going to lubricate it. So we have some oil. Every firearm manual usually comes with your few proper lubrication points. This is going to be where the slide right along the frame. You just put a little drop on there, and then one down in the trigger mechanism to keep everything running pretty smooth. And once you're done, you can wipe off any excess you have. So the third point is going to be putting everything back where you got it. So we'll put the barrel back in. Really important about cleaning is you want everything to work properly. You know, especially if you unfortunately ever meet that point in life where you need to use the gun you bought for home defense or personal defense, or for those of you guys going to law enforcement, your duty weapon. You know, it's a tool in your tool belt you don't want to fail. So by taking care of it and maintaining it, hopefully it'll be there for you when you need it most. And the more practice you have, obviously the more comfortable you'll be around it, and the more confident you'll be, which I think is important. So now that everything's back in the slide here. We're going to put the slide back on the frame, which will just line up, and then you pull all the way through there. So now that's back together, you do a quick check, make sure everything's working properly. Make sure everything pulls back the way it should. Magazine, we don't need that in. I'm not going to take it shooting. So briefly, that's how you walk through and how you clean a gun. Like I said, I think that everybody should know how to clean it and safely operate it, because it's your Second Amendment, you know. Not even the 14th, it's your second. They thought of that one right after the freedom of speech. So it's got to have some kind of importance, and there's nothing wrong, especially in today's world, with knowing how to protect yourself. And I don't know, if the bad guys have guns, then I want one too. So if you haven't already, I would have one in the house, or get some experience with one. And if you're one of those people that are uncomfortable with it, who knows, maybe that'll change. But knowing how to safely clean it, you know, it helps you be safe, and then it helps those around you, their safety too, so that you can not have a malfunction or a little safety mishap. So I hope you liked it, and then I hope if you were against it, I changed your mind.